I can have everyone's attention, we'll continue our media availability here at Michigan International Speedway with Martin Truex Jr., driver of the number 56 Napa Auto Parts Toyota, currently sitting 10th in points with 1 win so far this season. Martin, you have had a third here in June. Talk about your thoughts on the chase and being here in Michigan this weekend.
Not sure on the chase. It's we're kind of in that hornet's nest there, which we've been in for the past, I guess, month or so, and we just need to come here and have a good, solid run. We ran very well here in the spring race, but I think a lot has changed since then. The way the cars are being set up, the things we're doing to them to make them go fast, especially the bigger tracks like Michigan. So it's going to be a challenging weekend. We had a pretty decent first practice. Hopefully we'll get a good qualifying position this afternoon. It's obviously pretty important to start up front here. So we'll see what we got with our Napa Toyota, and looking forward to hopefully having a good weekend. These type of tracks have pretty much been what we've been our best on the last few years, and hopefully that'll be the case again this weekend.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions for Martin. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start in the back with Rich.
Martin, looking ahead to next week at Bristol, how are we looking? Do you feel confident going into that race?
Yeah, I do. I think that we've been pretty good at Bristol the past few years. We've had some really strong runs as a group, our whole team. But Bristol is one of those places where there's a lot of risk involved. There's a lot of things that can happen there. Obviously it's a short track, and that night race tends to get pretty crazy at times. And so I'm not real sure what's going to happen there, but I feel confident that we can go in there and run well, have a good race car, and do all the things we need to do. But I think a lot of it's out of your hands there. So we'll just go there and race hard, and hopefully we can come out with a great result.
Okay, we'll take our next question in the middle here from Stan.
Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Martin, it seems like you're just not even trying to look past Michigan right now. Do you really want to just concentrate singularly on a race and not worry about the next 3 events and the end of the night at Richmond? Yeah,
definitely. With the situation we're in, I think it's important to just take it 1 week at a time, 1 race at a time. Really focus on honestly just doing the best you can do. The points, again, they are what they are, and I've kind of gotten the past month or so to where I'm like, it is what it is. We've gotten this position. It's not where we want to be. I don't feel like as a team it's where we should be, but we're in it. And I think all we have to do is just concentrate on the week ahead. Certainly I haven't even thought about Bristol yet, to be honest. So we got to get through each race, take it one at a time, and hopefully have no bad luck bite us, and just race hard and race smart, not beat ourselves. And we were able to do a great job of that last weekend. We had a strong car all weekend. Everything worked out the way we needed it to. Pit strategy, our fuel mileage, all the things that we planned on went the way we needed them to, and we're going to need that to happen in the next 4 races as well. So, we just put our best foot forward, put a good plan in place, and try to execute that plan throughout each weekend, and try to take it one at a time, and hope that when we get to Richmond, we're in a somewhat comfortable position, and hopefully when that race is over, we'll be in the chase again.
All right, go ahead with your question, Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Martin, back in June of 2012, on fresh pavement with a softer tire, Marcus Ambrose set the track record here at 203 plus. It looks like on a harder tire, pavement a year older, that you guys may well do that again today. Does that surprise you at all?
It does surprise me, yeah. I mean, definitely the speed of the racetrack surprised me today. It's I think, evolution of this Gen 6 race car. I know the setups are totally different than what we ran here. As far as our group goes, a lot different than what we ran here in the spring race. And, that wasn't that long ago, June. I mean, the things are changing so fast in the garage. Week to week, I don't think you really know who's going to step up and find something new that's really working. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here this weekend. Maybe it's a little bit cooler than in June, but it's not. By any means, it's not cool out. It's the sun's on the racetrack. The track temp is pretty warm, and I was definitely surprised to see the speeds we're running in practice today.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Munzer from Germany Rennsport Press Agency. Martin, in case you're struggling with setup, regardless which racetrack, how are the cars set up from your teammates? Can you just take them over the setup, or is it totally different?
Honestly, between our three teams, we run very similar things each and every single weekend, and I think you've seen that, throughout the season this year when we've had bad races, it seems like all three of us have bad races. So we really feed off one another, work well together, and really going into each and every weekend, we kind of are on similar plans, and I think we come up with, as a group, what we think is the best package and try to work closely on that. I think we'll usually go off in a little bit of a different direction each team, but as far as the thought process behind what we're doing and our overall outlook on the things that we're doing based on what we're learning from our engineering group and everybody back at MWR, I think we all buy into the same concepts and try to work together to get all three cars running well. So there's been many times where we've started the race blind on one of the other guys' setups, and they've done the same, and it's worked out for us. So that's something that's worked really well for us, being able to feed off of each other. And I know what Mark likes, I know what Clint likes, and I know if they're fast, I can put their stuff in my car, and we can be fast too.
Go ahead, Diego.
Diego Mejia, Fox Deportes. Martin, as a former teammate to Juan Montoya, were you surprised to hear the news about him not returning to Ganassi next year?
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. You never know all the details of somebody else's situation as far as the team goes and the driver goes. But obviously Juan's very talented. He's had a lot of success in Sprint Cup, and I guess that they just felt like it was time to do something different. That happens in the sport. They've been together a long time. I know Chip and Juan, and just looking for a different direction, I guess. But I was definitely surprised. I think that they've had a tough season, but they've also had some really good runs and some bright moments. They just haven't been able to put it all together. So I think Juan will, if he wants to be here, I'm sure he'll be able to find something and something in equipment they can go out and do a good job in.
Okay, go ahead with your question, Dustin.
Dustin Long, Motor Racing Network. Obviously, you've been at MWR longer than Mark Martin, and you were involved in kind of helping build that organization to get to this level where you're at. I wanted to ask, when Mark Martin came along, and how has he helped you in that process? How did he help you these last couple years, if at all, in becoming a better driver in the organization becoming a better organization? I know you did a lot of the groundwork, so.
Well, I was part of the groundwork. I didn't do a lot of it. I got, I said this is what I thought, and they said, okay, we'll take that into consideration, but this is what we're going to do. That's kind of how it works, I definitely, took some lumps in the process, obviously, when I first went there. But, I think that since Mark's come, it's been probably the biggest thing is just, hey, yeah, you're doing all the right things. It's kind of like confirmation as a driver. We work very well together. We drive similar setups. Our race cars are normally set up pretty close. And I think for all of us as a group, it's kind of confirmation that, Mark says, yeah, okay, he thinks we're doing the right thing too. It's just another guy giving you confidence, standing behind you all the time and has your back and says, hey, when we were in, getting close to winning all those races, he kept saying, you're going to win one. You're too fast. You guys are doing all the right things. So it's nice to have somebody with that experience, that confidence, and the wisdom to know that, we were doing the right things and we were going to get there. And it just helps kind of push you across to that next level.
Okay, we'll take one here in the middle, then come back up front.
I'm Mark, John Reyes and Reyes Broadcasting in Chicago. Let me go back to a previous question. I know that you guys have a pretty knit, tight community in the racing business. And we continue to talk about all of Montoya's successes back then. Would you be willing to say that there may be some part of this type of racing that he may have not get a hang of miss, that he's taken so long to really crack a couple of good races?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the exact situation. It's hard to comment on somebody else's situation, I guess, when you're not teammates with them. You don't really see how things are going. So, I would be kind of stepping out of my comfort zone if I was going to comment on his situation. Again, I think he's a very talented driver. I was teammates with him for a year. I really enjoyed working with him, and that was, that year was definitely his best in the series. He made the chase that year and did a lot of really great things. He was really fast a lot. Should have won a bunch of races. So, he's certainly capable. Again, it's all about team chemistry and getting in the right, getting with the right people that all believe in each other and all kind of work together well and push for that common goal. Maybe they just don't have that right now. I don't know. It's hard to comment. It's hard to speculate because I don't know the details. But, I was definitely surprised to hear about it, for sure, especially as far back as Chip and Juan go racing together and winning together and doing great things. So we'll just have to see what comes of it, I guess.
Okay, back up front here with, go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Can you talk a little bit about what it's going to mean to have Brian there full-time next year?
Looking forward to it for sure. He's been a great teammate, obviously part-time the last 2 years, but he fits so well with our group. He's done a lot of work with the Toyota camp, done a lot of testing for TRD. He's it'll be just a seamless transition. I think that the races he's run, obviously he's won this year, which is incredible, doing it part-time. He works well with Rodney Childers, who hopefully will be the crew chief of that car. And, I think for us, it's almost like nothing's changed, because he works so well with our group. And I think for us, that's a good thing, with the things we've been able to do the last 2 years as a group. He's been a part of that. He knows how things work. It's going to be very, very seamless. And I think he's going to, him being in the car each and every week, he's going to bring another element to the table that should be able to help us be more consistent and hopefully get 3 cars in the chase next year.
And to kind of follow up on what Dustin was asking about Mark Martin, there's been talk that maybe he'll oversee your conditioning program within MWR. Have you worked with him yet on anything along those lines, just the athletic training conditioning that Mark does?
He has been a big part of that, obviously. That's his passion. That's what he loves to do. I foresee that when he doesn't race anymore, which we're not sure when that'll be, there's no telling, I guess, with him. He may find a ride in the next couple of weeks who knows, he might go full-time, I don't know. But he's very passionate about the physical stuff, the training. He's been a big part of the new gym at MWR, so I know he's very excited about being a part of that. He talks about it a lot, and he spends a lot of time there. I have not. I'm on the Tony Stewart plan. Yeah. But we're definitely looking forward to having Mark around, a lot, obviously. He's such a big part of our team and what we're doing. He's so much fun to be around, and he brings so much energy to our race team. Hopefully he'll stick around and help us, try to win our first championship together.
Final questions for Martin. Okay, we'll take a final question from Stan.
Martin, don't mean to put you under pressure, but you kind of said the things about Mark Martin in 2 different ways in your answer. Is he definitely staying in some form
I don't
with
know.
Michael Waltrip Racing next
I
year?
have no idea.
You're just hoping.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm not sure. I haven't asked. Nobody's mentioned it, so, it is what it is. But I'm not sure what he's got going on. He's so good, it's hard to think he won't be in a race car, So, I guess if somebody... I'm not sure what his plans are or what he's thinking, to be honest. I haven't asked, but it'll be weird not to see him out there, at least on a part-time basis.
How much would it feel to you for him to stay around and maybe say, you know what, I want to be in Daytona because I love that place. I want to race a couple of times. How much would that feel to you?
Well, I think that, based on what we've got going on, I don't know if we'll have 4 cars. I don't see that happening. But there's a good chance that there's somebody in this garage area that want him to drive for him. I'm pretty darn good chance. If I had a car, I'd call him, so I don't know. We'll just have to see. But hopefully he stays around and he can be a part of what we're doing. He's, again, he's been the last year and a half or going on 2 years, he's been a huge part of our program and a huge part of our success. And we hope we can keep, tapping into that resource.
Martin, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Good
Thank
luck
you.
this weekend.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.